it's become a really unusual and amazing adventure these last 10 years in writing. So with that, since we have a few minutes left, I wanted to open it up a little bit and hear from you all. Any questions you might have about being a creative person, about these books, about how crazy Florida is. Can we get the lights up so I can see you all? Yes. What is the research process behind the books? It's very interesting because, you know, I don't struggle to tell stories. Most writers have to make stuff up, so they're just like, okay, what am I going to make up? But I'm drawing from real life, so the process is once I find a place that I feel like, oh, that's a great place to tell a story, and there's a basic notion of what that story might be, I start collecting like all these events, things that happen, until I have hundreds of these little stories that are all like really compelling and wonderful. And then I start thinking like, okay, how can I fit all this great stuff into one single narrative? Like, well, the easy thing is like you have all these things happening to one character, you see it through their eyes. You know, so it's a matter of collecting. For me, it's kind of divided up into different stages. I collect enough information to where the place starts to speak to me and the characters start to speak to me. I don't want to overwhelm myself with so much research that I just don't know where to start because my brain is overloaded. So I get enough to where I want to start writing about it, and then I just go, and characters start to come to life, the place starts to come to life. And then I do a second round of research to get all the details and make sure that it's poetically truthful, you know, like really captures that place and those people. So it's kind of an ongoing thing, you know, always exploring. With Ghetto Cowboy, for instance, nobody had ever written about that place, so there wasn't anything I could research in a library. So I started to explore the internet and started to look at message boards and early bloggers who were from that area, just any mention of horses, right? And occasionally a horse would pop up and the name might pop up and with that horse, and so I'd have a name and I'd try to find out a way to contact that person, talk to that person, get stories. They might point me to somebody else. Eventually I worked myself into that place where I can go there. So a lot of times you have to be creative about, you have to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. And there's a lot of stuff out there. Most of it's just kind of hiding in plain sight. But that's kind of the exciting stuff, is the digging and finding all these amazing stories that you get to put into your story. Who else has a question? I saw another hand. Okay, back to me.
Would you ever go back to movies?
Would I ever go back to movies? I did a little movie for my last book, like a 10-minute little mini documentary. That was a lot of fun. And I found that making movies is very natural to me. Like I immediately fall into it and I know exactly what to do. And it's a lot of fun. But it's frustrating, all that waiting. You're spending most of your time just trying to raise money, trying to get people, trying to do this, as opposed to actually doing the artistic thing itself. So now my idea is to get other people to make movies of my books. So right now I'm talking to somebody about making a movie from Ghetto Cowboy. And that's, you know, then I feel like I can get the best of both worlds. Like I can come in, be involved, but I don't have to sacrifice 5 years of my time to try to make that movie. I can let somebody else do that. You have a question? Do I want to make a movie about Yummy? Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people about making movies about Yummy. So far I haven't found the right, you know, you need to find the right person who you feel can do justice to that story. And so far I haven't found the right matchup yet, but I feel like that's a story that will get told eventually. A lot of people. I started thinking recently like, oh, I'd like to tell that as an animated film, you know, as opposed to real life. Because real life, that's too easy, you know. Animated, that has the same feeling of the graphic novel idea. So that might be a more interesting, compelling way to go. Who else had a question? One more question? Wants to ask? the last best question ever asked. Do we have one? Oh, there's one. What's the favorite book that I've written? They're all like children. You can't necessarily pick your favorites, but certainly Yummy and Ghetto Cowboy are books that have had long and fruitful lives that continue to give and give and give. So I feel like, those were unique situations that really blossomed into something unexpected. So, but I have fondness for all of my stories and kind of different experiences associated with it. So we are out of time, so I want to thank you all for being a part of our audience. And have a good rest of the week.